recently, we have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put two dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Samir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coons. The white man to go nuts if he cash you. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They're trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations, I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
I'm getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us.
In my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations. America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat.
This is the sound of Linnon Latham.
It's a cut on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans, and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings and I got.
This is the sound of very fun local.
Hello, Grand Rising, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. Also, thanks to those of you tuned in on the Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur TV show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your morning wake-up call. All right, hello, Mr. Elevation, Nessie X, Juju, Vince I Am from the UK, Aboriginal Woman is in the house. All right, Claudette, Bronze Flat Power God, Stacy, G from the Land, Real Talk BDTV. All right, so let's get ready to get black into it. All right, I see you, Reggie. Eileen is in the house. All right, Queen Amona Huey. All right, let's get into it, Miss Evie. Wavy, though, is here. Dark than purple. Shout out to everyone in the chat and everyone tuned into the Queen. All right, let's get those likes up. You all have the Queen Shadow Band. I see you. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get this party started. Hey, Terry Lee King. Okay, remember, beloveds, it's going to be Trivia Friday, so make sure you're paying attention to the broadcast. It's all I can say. All right, that crazy Beach Aries is here. All right. So, first things first. Let's talk about... Hold on, let me pull this up real quick. Let's talk about the tennis match. Because I meant to bring this up days ago, and it kept slipping my mind. But let's talk about the tennis match between Coco Gauff and Lauren Sigmund. Okay? Now, this 35-year-old white woman is clearly past her prime, as far as I'm concerned. Coco's only 19 and really is a very good competitor. Now, she was trying to do all this little slick stuff, taking too long when Coco was serving and all of that. And then afterwards at the press conference, she wanted to sit up there and cry and play a whole victim. But isn't this always what these Karens do? I just want you all to pay attention. I thought it was very interesting. You know, just gracefully take your L and sit down somewhere, Karen. But no, she knew what she was doing, and she did all this on purpose. Okay? The Queen just gave you cheat codes for trivia. Pay attention, said Vince. I know that's right, Vince. March Baby said white tears. Yes, that's what she did. Weaponize her white woman tears, honey. Karen's tears. That's what she did. So let's look at the video. Because I found it also interesting, honey. And sitting there acting so perplexed as if she didn't realize that she did anything wrong. And everybody was just being so mean. And they didn't give me any credit for that. Girl, sit down somewhere, honey. I absolutely cannot with these Karens.
Did you see this video of this German tennis player, Laura Siegmund, using her white woman tears to get sympathy because a black player, Coco Gauff, called her out for delaying the game? Before we watch this, let's talk about what happened on the court that led to these fake-ass tears. So at this point, the match has been going on for almost 2.5 hours. And this entire time, Laura Siegmund is not following what's called the pace of play. That means you gotta be there when the person who's ready to serve is ready to serve. So essentially, Laura keeps trying to ice out Coco. Because the ref has not called out Laura for this, Coco had to say something. Listen.
Like 6 points. Not first set, every game, second set, every game. I didn't say nothing, but now it's ridiculous. I don't care what she's doing on her serve, but my serve, she has to be ready.
Okay, well said.
Did you hear how crazy the crowd went? That's a New York City crowd. Ain't nobody in New York City likes when a tourist comes in and starts moving all slow. Pick up the pace. Well, finally later on, Laura does get called out for slowing down the game, and this is how she reacts.
All right. There's a point. Point penalty.
All right, here we go. Let's listen up.
No, Laura, it wasn't one time. You were doing it for 2.5 hours and you finally got called out. And this is what led to the press conference. Listen.
I'm just a bit, at the end of the day, I go home and I can look at myself and I can say, I did a great job. But did I get anything from the people for that? Because they treated me bad. Like, they treated me like I was a cheater. Like, I was, like, trying, sneaky ways to win this match.
You got called out for breaking the rules. The other players saw it. Everybody in that stadium saw it. And you were given a pass for 2.5 hours. But of course, this is what happens when they're held accountable, even in the smallest way. It's just bring on the tears. Honestly, shout out to Coco for calling her out. Because honestly, not only do people of color have to play exactly by the rules, we have to beat white people who are cheating at the game to show that we are even better than them when they're cheating. So yeah, this was very satisfying to watch.
Yeah, it absolutely was satisfying to watch, okay? Another satisfying racial moment. Please pay attention. Sitting up there crying, and then she said she didn't get any credit from the people for that. They acted like she was trying to cheat and like she was doing all this stuff. Yeah, you were. You were doing all that stuff. Everything they thought she was doing and acted as though she was doing is exactly what she was doing. She was doing it all on purpose, okay? Because she was annoyed. At the end of the day, honey, just take your L and please go home. That's all I have to say about that. Now, meanwhile, I want you all to see this video before I get into my commentary. This young black man, well, I'm going to skip that for the time being. Let's talk about Florida. But I want you all to see this video of this young black man dating a white woman, clearly, who thought it was funny and cute, and put Nair in his shampoo container. And his locks started to fall out. And he's sitting there with this dumb smile on his face, and I didn't see anything funny. But anyway, I digress. But so meanwhile, in Florida, here's what's going on. They got these wanton supremacists standing out on the sides of roads telling black people to go to Africa, calling them the N-word and all of that. Let me just pull up this clip. Now, I did silence him saying the N-word.
How much longer are you going to parasite yourself off of white America and take your asses back to Africa? When will you finally go back and do something for your own people instead of living off of ours? Back to blue. Stop the...
Y'all heard what he said, so this is what they're doing down there in Florida. Please pay attention. And this is all thanks to Governor DeSatan, okay, in case you were wondering. Now, meanwhile, this woman put, like I said, Nair in this man's shampoo. Pay attention.
Shampoo.
You were just the sickest. That is bad.
3 and 1.
Not him trying to reattach his dress and they just start falling out. No fucking way. Oh my god. Shake your head. Please, shake your head. Oh my god. There's one that's not even attached. It's just on top of your head. Oh. I know, that's funny as hell.
So she really thought that was funny. She was having a ball. What do you all think of that? He was sitting there with this stupid smile on his face. I know he wasn't happy about it, but seemed as though he didn't want to really say what he really was thinking. Okay, why is he smiling? Exactly, that was all so stupid. Danielle said I would be kicking her. Let me tell you something. That was racist, okay? If y'all don't think so, I sure do. That was clearly racist, and he's sitting there dating her, and this is what he did. I don't find anything funny about that at all, whatsoever. Nothing at all. She's sitting there having the time of her life laughing like it's all a joke. Anyway, honey, this is what happens. But if you think that's funny, go right ahead, because I didn't see anything hilarious about it. But let me continue. So, do you all remember me reporting on the story where the white officer tased the pregnant black woman in the stomach and she lost her baby? Let's talk about it, because there's an update to that story. Ex-Miami Gardens cop charged after video shows him shocking pregnant woman in the stomach with a taser. Now, this happened back in I think it was June of 2020. Okay, but so recently he's been sentenced. Now, on this occasion, she was leaving, I believe she was leaving a club or something. Hold on. A now fired police officer, Florida police officer, mind you, faces battery and official misconduct charges after video shows him dragging a pregnant black woman out of her SUV, holding his knee on her neck and shocking her in the stomach with a taser twice. Former Miami Gardens Police Department officer Jordy Martell is also accused of fudging details of the incident in his report to arrest Sophia Satchel on charges of battery and resisting violence, according to 7 News Miami. Now, the charges against Satchel were later dropped. And he clearly just filed those charges trying to make it look good, like he was justified in snatching her up out of the car and doing the stuff that he did. Now, the incident happened on January the 14th outside of Tootsie's Cabaret, a Miami strip club, and Martell was arrested that Thursday. As a result of Martell's actions, Ms. Satchel suffered abrasions on her stomach from the tasers, bruises, abrasions on her arms, and bruises on her leg. By filing these criminal charges today against former Miami Gardens officer Jordy Yanes Martell, we're saying that these actions are just plain wrong. Well, they filed charges against him, but he only got 30 days in jail, okay? That's just a slap on the wrist and certainly not a deterrent for any other to do such a thing. I guess she didn't lose her baby. They didn't say anything in there, but there was another black woman that I reported on maybe about 2 years ago who actually had the same thing happen to her, and she did lose her child. Now, I'm going to go to the footage and just look at his demeanor in court, because to me, it looks like he almost wanted to smile.
Miami Gardens police officer has been sentenced to jail time for a rough arrest that was caught on camera. Local 10's Leanne Morajon has reaction to his sentence.
30 days, Dade County Jail.
Former Miami Gardens police officer Jordy Yanes Martell swayed in his chair while being sentenced to 30 days in the Miami-Dade jail and 18 months probation.
He is serving a little bit of jail time, so I'm thankful for that.
This after his conviction back in June on trespassing and battery charges.
This is a case of abuse of authority.
The conviction stemmed from a January 2020 encounter with Sophia Satchel outside Tootsie's Cabaret.
Well, I'm gonna kick you out of the car.
The club asked Yanes Martell to cite Satchel for trespassing, but when she refused to get out of her car,
Don't reach in my car.
Yanes Martell reached in, pulled her out, and tased her twice. The judge considered words from the victim herself.
From his knee choking the life out of me, fabricating reports, and lying on me, to being tased multiple times in the abdomen while being pregnant, I want him to suffer as much as he intended for me to suffer that night.
As well as the fact that Yanes Martell was also the subject of other internal affairs investigations regarding excessive force, including this incident at a racetrack gas station.
This is not a profession that Mr. Yanes Martell is equipped from his actions to have.
Yanes Martell also spoke shortly before sentencing as the victim watched.
I take full responsibility for my actions and for what happened that night. It did not only affect Ms. Satchel, it affected me as well.
We didn't hear him apologize to her. We didn't hear him explain why he took the actions he did.
So Yanes Martell must also complete 250 hours of community service. He has a week to turn himself in and be able to get his affairs in order. He also has 30 days in which he can file an appeal. Reporting live in Miami, Leanne Morejon, Local 10 News.
Well, there you have it. 30 days, that's it, okay? They may as well have not done anything. And she said she's happy he's getting some jail time. I'm sorry, 30 days doesn't do anything for me. How about y'all? How about y'all? So anyway, let's talk about this cop who has gone viral. Okay, this cop from Prince George County who's gone viral because of his misgivings or misdeeds that he was doing while clearly on the clock and in his patrol car. Video shows Prince George's officer getting into the back seat of his police cruiser with a woman. Prince George's County Police are investigating a video that appears to show an officer embracing a woman before getting into the back seat of his police cruiser with her. Nelson Ochoa says he was at South Lawn Park in Oxon Hill on Labor Day enjoying a game of soccer with other families when a Prince George's County police cruiser pulled up and parked. Ochoa said he doesn't know what made him start to record, but he did. He says, as soon as I started recording, a car pulled up and a young lady came out. He recorded the two appearing to embrace and kiss one another. And then they got into the back of the officer's squad car. He said, we couldn't believe what we were seeing. And what really made us go, wow, this is crazy, is when the car started rocking a little bit to the left and right. That's when we were like, this is crazy, in broad daylight with kids around. So after about 35 or 40 minutes, the officer and the woman quickly drove away in different directions, Ochoa says. Prince George's County Police released a statement on X, formerly known as Twitter, saying they were aware of the video and investigating to determine the circumstances. Well, I think we all can pretty much sum it up and figure out what the circumstances were. Please pay attention. Okay, police told the I-Team they have identified the officer, though they have not released his name. I bet they haven't. Multiple police sources told News 4 it's Francesco Marletts. That's who they say he is. Francesco Marletts, who has been suspended from the force, according to police. Ochoa hopes police will take a close look at what was going on in his video, which has 2 million views online at this point. He says, I'm glad I caught it on camera so Prince George's could see what kind of officers they have working for them, supposedly protecting the community. This is all so nefarious. Let me just pull up the footage. This is what the police are out here doing. Please pay attention.
Los pies a nosotros. Mira, pisando están, mira. No, ya lo acordaba, lo voy a mandar. No te vaya a ver porque vaya. Para el carro, mira, para atrás la lleva, mira, ve. Ey, no, mira, para... corriendo ya, mira. ¡Ey, yo! Quítate, maje, ¿verdad? Quítate, Ale. ¡Ey, yo!
Ay, pero por lo menos disimulándote para allá, ve, escondido.
Es un animal, es policía pelón.
This is all so trifling. This is clearly ratchet. Okay, this is ratchet right here. It's the definition of it. The definition of ratchet. I want you all to pay attention. And at the end of the day, you know what? That young lady, first of all, I hope that was an adult. I hope that was an adult because she looked like a teenager to me. But anyway, I digress. I hope that was a grown woman or he's going to be in even more trouble. Okay, yes, Mr. Elevation said busted. Absolutely. And then they're doing that within feet away from children. Now, I wonder if any of those children were there with the young lady who got in that car, and perhaps that's why they met at the park, because she didn't have a babysitter, wanted to drop those kids off at the park and let them sit there and run around while she's in the car doing the do with the police. This is all so sad. Lotta said she looked like she was 12. Okay, Wavy though said a hood booger. Reggie said he could be trafficking. Yes, he could be doing a myriad of things. Big Tennessee said he might get 30 days. Y'all are nefarious. Yeah, there's kids, they're Terry Kings, such perverts, okay? They should be ashamed of themselves. They should be ashamed of themselves, honey. But anyway, that's how they get down, I guess, out here in these streets. So anyway, let's talk about this young woman who was accused of stealing and using someone's credit card. Now, her father said that the police have the wrong person. And she also says that it isn't her and that she proved that it wasn't her. I want you all to decide whether or not her receipts actually stick. Okay, I'm going to show this video of the news report, and you all tell me if the lady that's talking on the news is or looks like the same lady that's on camera using stolen credit cards. I have questions because it looks like her to me. Now, she says it isn't, and she should produce a receipt, literally a receipt that she paid for something somewhere else, some food or something, and then a picture of her on a boat. And they said the picture had a time stamp. Now, I'm sorry, but the person in the store on the surveillance footage looks more like her than the picture. That's just my opinion. But hey, you all be the judge.
A woman who was arrested for allegedly stealing credit cards at a yoga studio and going on a spending spree. The charges have been dropped. Local 10's Rosh Lowe reports.
Several weeks ago, we were there when Angelina Giambri was arrested by South Miami police, accused of grand theft. Her dad at the time said cops have the wrong person. The state attorney's office agrees and drops the charges. Now we hear from Angelina, and we hear from South Miami Police.
The first thing I have in my face is a bright light blinding me. Then I have a gentleman feeling up on me, all in between my thighs, my legs, feeling up on me, and another one restraining me, and one is smoking a cigarette while they're restraining me. How is that professional?
Angelina Giambri says she has been vindicated.
I'm not surprised. I had no attachment to the crime.
The Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office dropping charges against her related to a grand theft case in South Miami, where she was accused of stealing a purse from a yoga studio and going on a high-priced shopping spree, picking up thousands of dollars worth of purses with a stolen credit card at the Dadeland Mall.
She's innocent with an ironclad alibi. They arrested the wrong person.
So if she says, I'm totally in the clear, what do you say?
We'll find out.
We were with South Miami Police when they arrested her. They said they received a Crime Stoppers tip and had a witness ID Giambri.
We didn't get it wrong. We did our investigation. She was positively ID'd by a witness who was face-to-face with her.
But Giambri says she has an alibi. She says she was on a boat and provides this photo time-stamped 11:36 a.m. This was the same time period she was accused of the theft. She also had restaurant receipts from that day.
I saw that video. The times are close, but it could still be her. I'm continuing my investigation. I'm waiting for additional video.
It's a veteran officer who rushed to judgment based upon one identification of a witness.
If they say this is bad policing, this is irresponsible, you say to them?
This is not bad policing at all.
I've proved that I was innocent before I was even in jail, and his words were, I've been here since 8 a.m., I want to go home, so you're going to jail.
Angelina says that she just simply wants to go on with her life. Obviously, she's very concerned about how South Miami Police handled the situation. South Miami Police, on the other hand, say, as you heard from the sergeant there, this is an ongoing investigation. We're live in downtown Miami. I'm Rosh Lowe, Local 10 News.
Okay.
At the end of the day, I don't believe her. That looked like her in that store to me. What do you all think? What do you all think? That looked like her in that store. And at the end of the day, those receipts that she produced are full of crap. So anybody can just bring in a receipt from a restaurant that has no pictures on it and say that they were there, that that's their alibi. What about surveillance footage from the restaurant? A lot of these restaurants have cameras nowadays. Why didn't she bring in surveillance footage? Because that's what I would have liked to have seen, rather than her bringing in a receipt that she paid for something there. That's a load of BS as far as I'm concerned. And that picture, I'm sorry, you could probably change the timestamp on pictures. It could have been photoshopped. I'm just saying, how's the prosecutor going to fall for this and drop the charges? Well, because she's white. I guarantee you if that were me, that wouldn't have gone that way. I guarantee you. What the police said would be just what it is. That darn sure looked like her in that store, okay? I wonder if they checked to see if she had any of those stolen items, because I bet she did. Okay, who else was it with those skinny legs? Did you all not see those chicken legs of the person who was in the store with the big bag purchasing the thousands of dollars worth of items on the stolen credit card? And then you saw the same chicken legs as the police proceeded to put her in the vehicle. I'm sorry, how many sets of chicken legs look exactly alike? I have questions. Alice said, did she pay cash? No, she paid with a stolen credit card. That's why she was accosted by the police. This is all nefarious. Did anyone find Jonathan Major's girlfriend fled the country? Yeah, I bet she did after she got caught in all those lies. But anyway, I want y'all to listen to this. This is all nefarious. So this is called an act of hatred. Do you all know a 14-year-old white teenager tried to drown a black kid in a pond? Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Acts of hatred and violence, okay? 14-year-old white boy tries to drown black boy in Massachusetts pond. Taunts him by calling him George Floyd and now faces attempted murder charge. He also called him the N-word. Okay, so They say a 14-year-old white boy whose identity remains undisclosed because of his age faces charges in an alleged racially motivated murder attempt involving another youth. The suspect reportedly threatened the victim with a stone and hurled the N-word at him, leading officials to denounce acts of hatred, particularly those based on race. Now, District Attorney Robert Galabois, his office said the incident occurred in Chatham, Massachusetts at Goose Pond on July the 19th. Now, the teenager was at the pond with two others whom he reportedly told that he couldn't swim. Reports say that he was given a life jacket to support himself, and with this precaution, he got into the water with the boys that he had just met that day. Once in the water, the juvenile defendant proceeded to pull on the victim's life jacket and then submerged him underwater for 4 or 5 minutes, clearly trying to drown him and kill him, causing the victim breathing distress. The third juvenile laughed at the victim during the attempted drowning and referred to the victim as George Floyd. The assault persisted as the 14-year-old swam beneath the black youth, attempting to seize his feet and submerge him again. The prosecution asserts that the bullying ceased only when the victim cried out for assistance from the shoreline, prompting a bystander to leap into the water, rescue him, and bring him to shore. Well, shout out to them, whoever the bystander was. Now, the teen was indicted by a grand jury on attempted murder and assault with the deadly weapon charges. The district attorney said the boys' records shall be open to public inspection in the same manner and to the same extent as adult criminal records in court, according to, adding that all proceedings related to this case will be open to the public. Because I will be following up on this. This is also, teenage psychopaths, please pay attention, natural-born killers. On Friday, September the 1st, both Chatham's Select Board and the Monomoy Regional School District issued statements regarding their positions on discrimination and diversity. They say, we are disturbed and saddened to learn of the event that occurred earlier this summer between juveniles. We do not believe that it reflects the true nature of our community, which is diverse and inclusive. We condemn all acts of violence, particularly those directed at children. Now, and they also added that it aims to support the black child and his family during this time. They say the alleged actions are incredibly concerning and stand in stark contrast to the values we hold as a school district and as a community. This is what the superintendent, Scott Carpenter, said. Acts of hatred and violence are unacceptable, he continued, and we condemn any behavior that seeks to harm or marginalize others based on their race, ethnicity, or any other personal attributes. He also noted that neither the boy charged with attempted murder nor the other white child who passively participated in the traumatizing and terrorizing act by laughing, neither of them attended school in the district. The teen attended a hearing on August the 31st in Barnstable Juvenile Court. A judge ordered that he be held without bail. Wow. His next appearance is September the 13th. Honey, they got him held without bail, as he should be. Little demon seed spawned from the pits of hell. Trying to kill that little boy. Went over and befriended him just to get him out there to drown him. I just want you all to pay attention. This is the type of stuff that they do. And this comes from children being taught hate. Okay? Because a lot of these kids are taught hate in the homes, as we all know. Yeah, that's right, Lana. No bail, and he didn't deserve any. Now, if you think that's something, wait till you hear this. So, 18-year-old Linnon Latham, who just turned 18, by the way, was found deceased after he went away with his so-called best friend. Okay? Well, he went off with his best friend. And I find it also interesting because this is a story that we hear all too often. You all remember Jason White, who went off with a group of white folk. Then you remember Isaiah. I can't remember Isaiah's last name. He went on a boat with his 7 or 8 white friends, and then they told different stories about what happened. They said that he fell off the boat drunk. Someone said that he jumped into the water and drowned. They had all kinds of stories, and for whatever reason, the police didn't seem to think that it was anything suspicious about them telling a myriad of different stories, and things not adding up. Also, the fact that his family said that he was an avid swimmer. So you all remember that. Well, we have another situation, so let's talk about it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Now, I have video footage from his mother that I'm going to play in just a moment. But first of all, let's talk about his case. Linnon Lathan. And Jalen James is the so-called best friend that he was supposedly out with when he never came back. Hold on. Trying to find this article real quick. Okay, here we go. Likes up, everyone. Please get the likes up. So the police were searching for the missing teen. And like I said, he left with his friend. Wasn't seen or heard from. The mom was calling his phone, and it was going straight to voicemail. Then comes to find out, his so-called best friend had his phone. Now I find this also interesting because, you know, these black kids, now they haven't shown any pictures of his friend, but just by his name, I'm sure we can tell that he's white, okay? And so here's what they say. This is what happened in the beginning. Now, the Miramar Police Department confirmed that the search for 18-year-old Linnon Latham came to a heartbreaking end, okay? On a Thursday afternoon, his body was found in a lake in Viscaya County. Now, the cause of Latham's death remains unknown, but his body will be examined by the Broward County Medical Examiner, although there is no suspicion of foul play present. Isn't that what they love to say? Investigations into the incident remain ongoing. So, I'm going to play these videos of his mother, but let's talk about the autopsy report and what their findings. Hold on just a second. Here it is right here. So, as experts in the field, they say we aim to shed light on the details and findings surrounding this intriguing case. With a thorough analysis of the autopsy report, we delve deep into the evidence and implications, delivering an insightful and unbiased examination of the circumstances. Okay, so here's what they say. Now, they say the circumstances surrounding Lyndon Latham's death are shrouded in ambiguity, giving rise to numerous theories and speculations. On the night of January the 14th, hold on just a second. I don't know what they're talking about. This is, seems like they have some wrong information in here. But anyway, let me continue. So the autopsy of Linnon Lathan revealed several significant findings that shed light on the case of his untimely demise. The initial observations made during the procedure helped establish a foundation for further exploration into the circumstances surrounding the death. Now, they say that the examination revealed a plethora of injuries consistent with physical trauma. The body displayed multiple lacerations, notably to the head and upper torso, indicating a fierce and violent attack. And so anyway, let me go to what his mother has to say. This is all crazy. Like I said, this young man had just turned 18 and he left with his friend. So here's a video. Now, it's actually 2 videos, part 1 and part 2, but I put them together, okay? It's like 7 minutes long. Pay attention.
I was told that, according to the autopsy, that my son drowned. Accidental drowning. How does a kid that is an amazing swimmer drowns accidentally? I don't understand that. makes no sense. It eats me up inside. My son left home with Jalen Jameson, his best friend, his so-called best friend, went to a park, Vizcaya Park, and then all of a sudden my son got upset about something on his phone and got out of the car. Y'all want to know the truth? Let me tell you the truth, because it doesn't add up. My son got out the car, supposedly, and left his phones, supposedly. And Jalen claimed he was looking for my child. A very littered area, right next to Vizcaya. This ain't the hood. We don't live in the hood. I looked at the time, and it's 11:30. LJ knows he has to get home before midnight. 12 o'clock comes. No LJ. I said, this don't make no sense. It didn't make no sense. So I texted him. I said, yo, where are you? No response. 12:15, I was like, yo, what's going on? Nothing from my child. So I text his friend, Jalen Jameson, who told me LJ was in the bathroom and his phone was dead. And I said to him, don't lie to me. We live in the same complex. So then I went to LJ's location on his phone because he always turned it on. That's how good my child was. And I saw the car moving from Vizcaya and coming down Flamingo and coming home. So I watched it. My mind says, screen record this car moving. I don't know why I did that. I screen record the car coming from the location on LJ's phone. The car came in. The car didn't turn to come to my house. The car went to Jalen's house. And in my mind, I'm like, okay. I waited. LJ still didn't come. Call his phone, nothing. So I said, something don't feel right. Maternal instincts, ladies, fathers, mothers, go with your gut feeling. Don't ever second guess it. I jumped out of bed and I jumped in the car. You won't believe when I got to where the car was, it was in front of Jalen's house. Parked up, lights off, everybody gone to fucking bed. So I'm in my mind, they want me to think that my son is in there and I should go home, right? So I started calling again. Nothing. Then I text the boy. Yo, why LJ's not answering? What's going on? Then he tells me they were at the park and LJ got out of the car and he was looking for me, don't know where he went. He went straight to the park and started looking for my son and called the police. Called everybody I knew. And they started looking for my son. You know what's the worst part about this? This kid, Jalen Jameson, went and got his parents. His parents went with him to go look for my child. Nobody called me. Nobody came knocking on my fucking door. Nothing. Nothing. You made me wonder why you as parents did not pick up the phone and call me. I didn't even get to see my child. I didn't even get to see my child. You as parents know this, went to help your child look for my son, did not call me, didn't even call the cops till after I called the cops. Huh? Who are you? What kind of human being are you? These people have not even come by and said sorry or give their condolences or anything. This little kid that used to eat at my house, go on vacation with us, I fed him like my own, have not even showed up and tell me what happened to my son. Y'all imagine my pain and my anger? Can you even imagine how I feel? It's just the grace of God that's keeping me. I swear to God. And that little boy named Asher. That little boy named Asher. He's the reason why I'm still breathing. Him and my daughter. They are the only reason. They are the only reason. Only reason. And you're gonna say my son drowned? Make it make sense. And as parents, you didn't think to come call me? He had dreams, he had goals, he had aspirations. All gone, all taken. I couldn't even have an open casket with my child. I didn't even get to see him. The only memory I have of LJ, that Tuesday night, he kissed me on my forehead, like he always does, and he tells me he loves me. Kiss Asher. He told him he loved him, and I'll see you later, my youth. That later never came. He never came back.
I don't believe anything that the best friend said. First of all, he had the phones, okay? He had Lennon's phones, and then kept lying, saying that he's in the bathroom, he's asleep, and saying all this, that, and the third. Clearly lying. And here's the thing. She said that he went and got his parents and took them with him to help look for Lennon. No, that's not why they went there. I don't think they went to go look for Lennon. I think they went to help him dispose of Lennon's body. That's just what I think. I think they went to go help him dispose of that young man's body. That's what I think. I don't think they went there to look for him, because I don't think he was ever lost. I think his nefarious friend took him there to do something to him, and the parents helped. Just like in the case of the 17-year-old Bobby Quaron Charles. Do you all remember him, who turned up face down in a lake after he left with his 17-year-old Caucasian friend? And then the mother supposedly told the police that Bobby Charles left their house walking. So you picked him up in your car from his house, but he left walking. And y'all didn't hear anything else about him until he was found dead. Please pay attention. Okay, this sounds like the same thing. This sounds like the same thing. Oh, and by the way, that article that I was reading where they were talking about the autopsy report, I don't know. You know what? I think some wanton supremacist posted that. First of all, that was given inaccurate facts. I don't know what happened to my initial article that I sent to my email, but that's not what happened. You know, as I was reading that, I'm like, this is a bunch full of misinformation. Somebody likely posted that just to try to skew the narrative and act like this isn't likely a hate crime. At the end of the day, they deemed his death as accidental drowning. That's what they did. They said it's an accidental drowning. Okay, so ignore that other stuff that was in that first report I was reading from, because that's all some BS, as I further realized as I continue to read it. Come on, black parents, stop letting your children go off to sleep over with the children of Satan. This is all crazy. At the end of the day, I'm saying black people should know by now. They should absolutely know by now. But at the end of the day, Lennon was an adult. He had just turned 18. He was an adult because he had just turned 18. Honey, you have to be careful. You have to be careful with your children at the end of the day. And some of these children aren't going to listen. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. Case closed. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The case is closed. They ruled it an accidental drowning. His mother said he was an avid swimmer. So how did he drown? In a lake. Okay, like she said, make that make sense. But hold on, let's get this last story out of the way, then I'm out of here because I have to come back this evening at 7:15. We're going to have a panel discussion about Erica Mena calling Spice a monkey. And we're going to talk about Ro Bashi, the young lady who got hit with the brick. We're going to talk about that because there's a bunch of crazy stuff going around online. People out here telling lies and all that. Somebody even said that she paid somebody to hit her with a brick. How nonsensical is that? First of all, who would pay someone to hit them in their face with a brick? That's absolutely crazy. And she was at the hospital. And they also said she didn't have a police report. Well, I don't know if she has a police report or not, but she was actually at the hospital. So she definitely has hospital and medical bills. Because they were saying that her GoFundMe is a grift. It's always interesting when I see black men sitting here talking down on black women after they've been victimized. Please pay attention to make it all make sense. Okay? Oh, so crazy. Get it through your thick head. They hate us. They will always hate us. In the Bible, white people are the devil. The Bible speaks of straight, evil, wicked, demonic, senseless, violent, inhumane. Well, don't hold back, beloved. Tell us how you really feel. But yeah, black people do need to get it through their thick heads, though, for real. Like, why are you still encouraging your children or allowing them to go out by themselves and be the only person who looks like them? That's just not a good thing to do. Now, granted, we know all of them don't do these types of things, but how can you tell who's who? Like Muhammad Ali said, honey, I'm sorry, sugar and salt look just alike, and you don't know the difference until you taste one, and by then it's too late. Please pay attention. Okay, so last story. This 17-year-old from Georgia was killed by the police hours after he killed a canine police dog. Now, they say that when they caught up to him like some 8 hours later after the first incident with the canine, they say that he pulled a gun on the police. That's what they say. I don't know if he actually did, but it sounds to me like that could be a good excuse to take his life or take that canine's life, because we already know how they feel about their dogs. Please pay attention.
Their top.
Tonight, a Clayton County police canine is dead, and so is the 17-year-old accused of shooting him. The whole ordeal causing an hours-long SWAT standoff. Investigators say it was just a terrible situation all around. An hours-long search ended in a 17-year-old suspect's death after police say he shot and killed a Clayton County police canine early Saturday morning. It all started when Jonesboro officers were called to a Home One extended stay motel off Terra Boulevard for alleged suspicious activity.
Once they got their information, all suspects ended up running away. Upon chasing and catching some of them, drug paraphernalia and also weapons were located. And then upon that, we still had a third suspect at large. That's when they reached out to Clayton County Police Department.
Assistant Chief Bruce Parks with the Clayton County Police Department says they used their canine officer to assist.
Upon sending our canine partner into the wood line to track the last suspect that was still at large, what happened was the canine then engaged, and then the suspect was able to shoot at the canine and some nearby officers striking the canine.
Canine Waro, who had been with the department about 3 years, died as a result of his injuries. The search went on for about 8 hours for suspect Stephon Ford. When officers eventually found the teen, they say he pointed a gun at them and say when he didn't drop it, they fired shots, killing him.
The overall situation is tragic. We hate it. We never want anything like this to happen. We try to use all our training and experience to bring it to an easy resolution, but this is not easy on us, it's not easy on the suspect's family, and it's something that is going to take a while to get by, but we try to stay truly focused on our mission, but it definitely affects each and every one of us.
This investigation has been turned over to the GBI, which is protocol when an officer uses deadly force.
Also nefarious, okay? At the end of the day, like I said, I could be wrong, but I'm going to go with my intuition. And my intuition tells me that they took that young man out because he killed that canine, period. Okay, pointed a gun. Yeah. Well, I'd like to see the footage. Okay, I'd like to see the body cam footage. Make it all make sense. That's all I'm going to need them to do. Now, before I close out, I noticed that Wheezy said Something about the story with the young man having nair in the shampoo and his locks falling out. Weezy said that he would have smelled the nair because it smells really bad and that it has to be fake. Honey, it's not fake. His locks falling out of his head are fake. You didn't see the locks, all those locks falling out of his head, honey. That's clearly not fake. And just so you know, FYI, people have done stuff like that for years. Okay? White people play like that. They've been doing it for years. When I was in high school, they used to do that. Put nair in each other's shampoo so that when you go to wash your hair, that your hair comes out. Now, you say you could smell it, but if they mix it with your shampoo, can you really smell it? Because you could be smelling the shampoo and the nair at the same time. And also, when you put the shampoo in your hair, aren't you usually in the shower? Aren't you usually in the shower and you grab the shampoo bottle and you pour it in your hand and just put it on your hair like that? That's how that usually happens, right? I'm trying to tell you, beloved, no, it absolutely is real. His locks fell out in real life, in real time. And at the end of the day, that's a joke that they've always played. They've always thought it was funny. Okay? My college roommate, who was white, thought that was funny and did that to one of her friends. And she knew not to try that with me because there would have been a whole lot of knots upside her head. That's all I'm going to say. Okay? That's all so crazy. Yes, sleepers at the party get nair put on their eyebrows. Chad, I wish I would go to sleep at a party and wake up with no eyebrows because somebody put nair on there. Okay? That party would be turned out. I promise you. All right? I don't play with those kind of games. I don't play those kind of games. That's why I never, in high school, as a kid in elementary, middle school, I never engaged in horseplay. When people like to do little horseplay, like fighting around, acting like they're fighting, hit you and all that, or just picking and all this stuff, I never engaged in that. Okay? Never. Okay? Jeff said he'll unalive somebody over his locks. I'm just saying. This is all so nefarious. At the end of the day. Yeah, Scoop said they love sick jokes. Yeah, some of them do. And I don't find any of it funny. I don't get down with pranks. And some of these foolish YouTubers, people on Instagram and TikTok going around here playing pranks on people, you go F around and find out. Like, I be wishing one of them would try something with me because I'm not going to take it for a joke because I don't think any of it's funny. Like that little black girl who's going around with her little skinny self, going up to people and talking all slick at the mouth. And then when they get ready to woof off on her, she's talking about, oh, it's a video, calm down. The last thing you need to tell me to do when I'm amped up is tell me to calm down, because that's going to make me even more upset. Okay, that's all I'm saying. But they going around here playing all these little games, how they going to F around and find out. Okay, that's what they're going to do. Yeah, prank culture, exactly. Like, grow up. Okay? Grow up. This is all ridiculous. Anyway, with that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Please like and share. Subscribe to the channels if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click the notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Also, please double check and make sure that you're still subscribed. That you're still subscribed to the channels. And, hold on. Hold on, beloved. Okay, I knew it was one more thing I forgot to report on, so let me talk about this briefly. This is what's going on in Atlanta. 61 indicted in Georgia on racketeering charges to stop Cop City movement. Okay, this is all nefarious. They lock these people up with RICO charges. 61 people have been indicted in Georgia on racketeering charges for a long-running state investigation into protests against a planned police and firefighter training facility in the Atlanta area for critics call Cop City. Now, in the sweeping indictment released Tuesday, Republican Attorney General Chris Carr alleged the defendants are militant anarchists who supported a violent movement that prosecutors traced to the widespread 2020 racial justice protests. Let me tell y'all something. What this is all about is they're trying to intimidate you to stop you from protesting by charging these people with RICO. Okay? I just want y'all to pay attention. Calling them violent anarchists. But let me continue. They never said that about the Klan. How come the Klan's never been charged with RICO? I I have questions, but let me continue. The August 29th indictment is the latest application of the state's anti-racketeering law, also known as a RICO law, and comes just weeks after the Fulton County prosecutor used the statute to charge former President Donald Trump and other 18 defendants. Now, the Stop Cop City effort has gone on for more than 2 years and at times veered into vandalism and violence. Opponents fear the training center will lead to greater militarization of the police, and it will. That's the whole point of it. That's why they want it. And that its construction is an urban forest will exacerbate environmental damage in a poor majority black area. Why don't they take that shit to the suburbs? Okay, excuse my language, but this ticks me off. Why don't they take that out there to the white folk? Yeah, exactly. Now they want to charge people with RICO for protesting about it. Most of those indicted have already been charged over their alleged involvement in the movement. RICO charges carry a heavy potential sentence that can be added on top of the penalty for the underlying acts. Here's the thing. So are they trying to charge these people as if they were the Capitol insurrectionists? Is that what they're trying to do? They're trying to charge them like they did the people that were the so-called Capitol insurrectionists, the whole domestic terrorist crew. Okay, somebody said the system is the Klan. Absolutely, Mr. Elevation. Okay, so then it goes on to say, among the defendants, more than 36 people already facing domestic terrorism charges in connection to violent protests, 3 leaders of a bail fund previously accused of money laundering, and 3 activists previously charged with felony intimidation after authorities say they distributed flyers calling a state trooper a murderer for his involvement in a fatal shooting of a protester. So I just want y'all to pay attention to this. They are charging these people with a RICO and calling them domestic terrorists. Did they have all this same smoke in the beginning for the people that rioted the Capitol on January the 6th? Okay, of course they didn't. But let me continue. The 61 defendants together have comprised to prevent the construction of the Atlanta Public Safety Training Center by conducting, coordinating, and organizing acts of violence, intimidation, and property destruction, says Carr, who was at a press conference on Tuesday. Now, in linking the defendants to the alleged conspiracy, prosecutors have made a huge series of allegations, including everything from possessing fire accelerant and throwing Molotov cocktails at police officers to being reimbursed for glue and food for activists who spent months camping in the woods near the construction site. Activists leading an ongoing referendum effort against the project immediately condemned the charges, calling them anti-democratic. They say Chris Carr may try to use his prosecutors and power to build his gubernatorial campaign and silence free speech, but his threats will not silence our commitment to standing up for our future, our community, and our city. The Cop City Vote Coalition said this all in a statement. Now, Republican Governor Brian Kemp, meanwhile, praised the indictment, saying in a statement, "My top priority is and always will be keeping Georgians safe, especially against out-of-state radicals that threaten the safety of our citizens and local law enforcement." Please sit down somewhere, Brian Kemp. Now, protests against the training center escalated after the fatal shooting in January of 26 when a 26-year-old protester, Manuel Esteban Payez Terran, known as Tortuguita, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation has said state troopers fired in self-defense after the man shot at them while they prepared protesters for a wooded area near the proposed facility site. You all remember that I reported on that. I mean, did they really have to shoot that man and kill him? Well, I don't know. It was very suspicious to me. Seemed like they were angry about his position with the protest. Now, but the troopers involved weren't wearing body cameras, and activists have questioned the official narrative. Well, conveniently, they weren't wearing body cameras. I mean, why not? Okay. At the end of the day, anytime an officer takes someone's life and they're conveniently not wearing a body camera, they should be charged with murder. That's how that should go. I bet you they keep those body cameras on then. Okay, why do we have to go with their narrative because they didn't wear what they were supposed to wear because they conveniently turned off or took off their body cam? No, start charging them with murder every time they do something like that, and then they'll keep them on. But they're not going to hold the police accountable. They never do. Now, Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens and others say that the 85-acre, $90 million facility would replace inadequate training facilities and would help address difficulties in hiring and retaining police officers. Now, prosecutors traced the roots of the Stop Cop City movement back to May the 25th of 2020, the date George Floyd was murdered by police officers in Minneapolis. Even though the resulting protest occurred months prior, officials announced plans for the training before the officials announced plans for the training center. Long after the racial justice protests died down, violent anti-police sentiment persisted among some Atlantans, and it remains one of the demonstrators' core driving motives, according to the indictment. So they're mad because these people don't want Cop City. So that's what they're going to do. They could sit down somewhere. This is all nefarious. Sandra said, Enrique apologized and asked for mercy. Oh, well, he needs to sit down somewhere because you did what you did. I hope he serves every bit of it. Okay? For those of you who don't know, Proud Boy leader Enrique Taddeo, he got like 20 years. Yeah, he got like 20 years, okay, convicted, as he should be. 22 years, okay? Proud Boys leader Enrique Taddeo sentenced to 22 years, harshest January 6th penalty yet. Taddeo was one of 5 Proud Boy members, 4 of whom were convicted of seditious conspiracy, sentenced in the last week to some of the longest prison terms yet for January the 6th. And let me say this. You know, I bet that he's so ridiculous, Enrique Taddeo, that he doesn't even realize what's happening to him. Okay? He got the longest sentence than anybody for January the 6th. He got the longest sentence. And I want you all to pay attention because you see, this is Enrique Taddeo's ninja wake-up call. Because he wants to walk around and be a whole wanton supremacist, but at the end of the day, he's Afro-Cuban. He's of Afro-Cuban descent. So he still got treated like one of us, even though he wants to be one of them with his stupid self. I wonder how he feels about that. Looks like the joke's on him as far as I'm concerned. 22 years. Oh, well. Don't drop the soap's all I can say. Don't drop the soaps, all I can say, honey. You want to be down with wanton supremacy? Well, guess what? They're not down with you. So you're going to get the longest sentence out of everybody. Please pay attention. Okay? This is all so nefarious, but hey, that's what he gets. Terry Hinn said, we living in tyranny. Terry Lee King said, isn't he Latino? He's Afro-Cuban. Okay? So with that all being said, listen, we're going to be talking about some topics tonight that are controversial to some because my moderators told me that some people were saying little slick stuff yesterday when I was talking about the lady getting hit with the brick. Let me tell you something. If you're a coward, if you're one of those men who are trying to blame the victim, if you're one of those men who are sitting up here saying she got what she deserved, if you're one of those men who said that she's a troublemaker, if you're one of those who says that, oh, well, she's Somali, I don't have to do nothing. If you're one of those men who feel like all women are independent and say they're strong and they don't need men, if you blame every black woman for the actions of some, then you don't need to be in this chat this evening. I'm telling you right now, because if you come in here talking crazy, you're going to get embarrassed. I'm going to roast you if I see it. And second of all, I'm going to drop that link so you can get on here and explain why you're so mad. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get on here and let you explain why you're so mad. I'm going to drop the link. So anybody that has anything to say about the woman getting hit with a brick, if you don't like what's being said on the panel, please get up here and explain your side of the story and give us your argument and why you have disdain for this young lady. Because I want to hear it. Okay, I want to hear it. At the end of the day, Nessie said Queenie was a woman, I think. I don't care who it was. Whoever has anything to say, I will be dropping the link if you have something to say. If you want to chime in and give your thoughts or whatever, okay? I'll gladly drop the link so you can get up here, all right, and make sense of it all. Now, with that all being said, I have one more receipt. Thank you, Desmond, for reminding me. I have one more receipt, and I want you all to pay attention. I'm about to pull this up on the screen. Let me try to enlarge this. Now, if you all remember, I told you all months ago that there was going to be an increase in trafficking. Because the U.S. is in debt. RG Titan said those cowards won't dare click that link. I wish they would, because I'm sure going to drop it. But so anyway, I told you all that there was going to be an increase in human trafficking because of the United States being in such deficit and the U.S. dollar on the decline and all of that. Well, listen to this. I'm going to share my screen so you all can see it already. Okay, so I'm going to read this to you. It says, good afternoon. From a friend who has a friend that works in the VA hospital. They say, good morning. We have a task force unit with police department and FBI to come to talk to us at work. There are gangs that has entered the following counties. Please pay attention if you live in any of them. Okay, Jefferson, Madison, Limestone, Lauderdale, and Morgan, and also Nashville, Tennessee. They are called Bloods and the MS-13. The MS-13 are foot soldiers for the cartels. They are targeting women, especially women that park away from a building or stores, and then they grab them when they're walking to their car, and also women at night that are at the gas station. Please be very, very careful. Be aware of your surroundings, even more so now. They said they are real bad in Birmingham. Please pass this information along to everyone you can think of and stay safe by being extremely careful. Share it with your female relatives and coworkers. Tell all of your daughters, nieces, and female cousins. All right, so there's your lifelines for today. There's your lifelines for today. It is what it is. I'm not saving no females just because they black. I mean, all praises to y'all. Nobody asked you to, beloved. Nobody asked you to. Okay? Just hope that your mother, daughter, or sister, or anybody that you care about that's a black female never gets bopped upside the head or face with a brick. And that nobody helps them. That's all you need to worry about. Focus on that, beloved. Okay? And for all of y'all who don't want help if a black woman is in distress, you can keep that to yourself. Okay? Because I'm sure nobody cares. That's all I'm saying. Now, unless you want to click the link when I drop it this evening, you can keep your comments to yourself. All right? At the end of the day, these men take things too far. That's a mess, says Bransler. Yes, exactly. You know, and the thing is, some of these other men, black men, don't want to hold them accountable. Okay? They don't want to hold them accountable. And if you're a man, and here's the thing, for any grown man to say they're not helping a black woman just because they don't know them, well, you sound like a coward. I don't care if you think you're a coward or not. That's what you sound like. Okay, I'm a black woman, and I helped a black man who was getting jumped, and I'm a female. And I didn't know him from a can of paint. It didn't matter if I knew him or not. It's called being on code. Okay? It's called being on code. That's what it's called. Okay? Jane said they seem to be boys, not men. Absolutely. Okay? Jordan G says, I'm going all out for black women. Thank you, beloved. Thank you. And I'm going all out for black men. Okay? Thank you. Okay, some of y'all talk about being on code, and some of you too foolish to even realize what being on code is at the end of the day. All right? Like I said, a lot of them want to sit out here and blame the woman. And then somebody says, stop blaming everything on black American men. Asha Mwamba, I'm not blaming anything on black American men. And why did you feel the need to specify black American men? Because the men that she was there with were Somalian. At the end of the day, black men do the same thing, boo. Black American men do the same thing. I'm sorry, who was in that store when the 14-year-old boy had to shoot the man who they call the quote-unquote knockout king when he punched that woman in her face? Y'all sound stupid. Okay, and I don't care who gets mad. Okay, quite frankly, y'all sound stupid to me. You talking about don't blame all African American men. First of all, I didn't blame them for anything. I just said that if you don't want to do anything, then you sound like a coward. That's my opinion. Blame them for what? Because some other man slapped the woman in the face with a brick? So are you trying to imply that black men don't beat on black women? Black American men don't? Because there's a whole lot of domestic violence cases that I can go dig up right now. We can talk about it if you want to. Okay? All right? That's all I'm saying. And so anyway, Asha Mwamba said it was a Haitian with a brick. Well, we already know by now, Asha Mwamba. But what is your point? What is your point in telling me that it was a Haitian? I'm asking you, are you trying to say that African American men don't do stuff to African American women? Is that your point? Because if that's your point, you failed miserably. Because I can pull up receipts right now to debunk everything you just said. Okay, let's talk about the black African American man who just took out his wife. Let's talk about the African American man who just killed a woman that he was harassing for months and harassing her and her husband, and then he took her life. Okay, let's not go there. Let's not sit here and be stupid and try to act like only Haitians and Africans and other black men, okay, do these things. When we all have common sense to know and eyes to see that there are African American men who do the same thing, okay? Please sit down somewhere. If you don't like the young lady because she's not African American, if you don't like the young lady because she's LGBTQ, if you don't like the young lady for whatever reason, because you saw videos of her slapping white men, okay, which those were skits. If you don't like her for any of those reasons, then that's fine. But don't get on here in my chat and try to make up excuses for why she deserved to get hit in the face with a brick. Okay? Because you wouldn't be saying that, Asha Mwamba, if somebody slapped your behind in the face with a brick. Okay? You wouldn't be saying, all right, that's what you wouldn't be doing. And y'all know I don't care because I'm going to say what I want to say, honey, please. Yes, absolutely. Kat said they take out, kill their children and partners and all that. Exactly. Marcia YT said, speak the truth, queen. Thank you. At the end of the day, honey, y'all know I don't be cared about who gets mad because if you don't like what the queen is cooking, you can always leave the kitchen. Like you don't have to be in my chat. You can unsubscribe, unfollow. Y'all know I give 0 Fs. Y'all do know that, right? Y'all think I'm saying it just to hear myself talk? I'm like literally so serious. I don't care whether I have 2 people in chat, 2,000 people in the chat, or 200,000. At the end of the day, I'm going to do the same amount of work, and I'm still going to talk the same talk. But that's just who I am, period. Yeah, Stacey said there's no excuse for her to be smacked with a brick, right? And some of y'all are so stupid. Y'all was sitting here talking about her going around slapping white. Y'all know y'all don't give a damn about white men. Please sit down somewhere, okay? I'm sorry. And at the end of the day, like I said, those were skits. Some of y'all are so desperate to try to debunk this woman at the end of the day. And I know some of these black women are crazy because they were sitting up here going along with Erica Mena when she called Spice a blue monkey. But anyway, I digress. Anyway. Asha Mama said, well, I do. I give 0 Fs as well. Peace out. Bye. Have a good one. Okay, don't let the doorknob hit you. All right, so anyway, with that all being said, everyone please like and share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Honey, y'all know I give 0 Fs. Honey, don't try to get cute with me, okay? You can't get more petty than me on my own channel. That's what you can't do, Asha Mwamba. Have a good day, beloved ad, okay? So with that all being said, okay, all hell no, I said, girl, bye. No disrespect to the queen, okay? Honey, she can have several seats. But anyway, with that all being said, everyone enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. And don't forget to tune back in this evening at 7:15 for the panel discussion about Erica Mena and the young woman who was slapped with the brick. Until next time, beloveds, peace. Soul all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. That's See right. A bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got